I know it. You guys know our name is Retire in Panama, and here we're talking about working and operating a business. Well, look at us. We've been in Panama 14 years, 11 years, and we've worked and operated businesses. So we do have some expertise here. So tell us about us and our company.
I'm Batman. Sorry.
I don't know what that
I
was.
have no idea. I am Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I've been here in Panama since 2009. I've been have a background on hospitality, hotels, and tourism industry. I've been working as a tour operator, guide, private guide, and in the operations in our company, I'm the one that executes and make sure all of you that come with us have the best time while they're doing our tour. And I'm pretty much I consider myself like a little bridge between the two cultures. Since I'm Colombian, I have been I pretty much feel like Panamanian because so many years here. But I like to always make sure that people understand the culture here when they're trying to move here. So that's my role. And yeah, I am basically I am Papa Goose when I'm doing that tour. So this is who I am.
Okay. My name's Rod Larrabee, Vancouver. I told you guys I'm from. I moved here 11 years ago. At that time, I was an online marketer. I had a business that was very successful in Canada. I moved it down here for tax reasons, which we're going to get into on this call. But I didn't do a very good job of moving down here and doing my research and within 3 months I was in big trouble. I had met the wrong people. I had the wrong information, and I was in big trouble, like financial trouble, and I needed help. And so I went around my little town in Boquete and asked all these business owners of tour companies who can help me. I need help getting immigration. I need help getting my vehicle fixed and my title fixed and my driver's license, blah, blah, blah. I went on and on. And they all referred me to one guy, this guy sitting next to me. So after I checked his criminal record and really made sure he was legit, we got together. We actually hit it off the first day, and he cleaned up everything for me. I was actually at this point considering going home, but he fixed everything, told me everything was going to be okay, and put me in touch with the right people. And that year we became friends. We started doing business together. I started assisting his current business, helping expats move here, doing tours, and he started and he continued helping me get what I need done. Within a year, we opened our own tour company, local tour company, but our focus was always with the expats because we had a location that new people would walk in and ask questions. How do I get my immigration? What do I do for health insurance? What do you do? And this was back in 2013, 2014. And that was our focus. So in 2018, we started this company that you see today, Retire in Panama. And we bring one group per month, 10 to 12 people across Panama, show them everything their needs and hold their hands from the time they decide to move here to the first barbecue that they invite us to. Yep. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Today, and we have these special Q&As every month. We have a special topic, and this is definitely a Q&A, a topic we get asked a lot about. Now, working and starting a business in Panama. Now, the first thing I want to ensure that you guys read here is the disclaimer on every page here. Oscar and I and our company, we do not offer financial or tax advice. Please consult with your Panama lawyer, Panama accountant before proceeding with any work, business venture, and work permits and business setup. Oscar and I have done this many times.
Yes.
So we know the procedures, but we're not offering anyone advice here on taxes and stuff like that.
We're just gonna share our experience, and when I get to meet you guys, get to meet people they also have been through that path, but we legally cannot say that.
Yeah. I also, at this point, for those of you guys, we got another couple dozen people have joined us who have joined us. Don't ask your questions yet, please. Let's get through a couple pages of the presentation, which you all are going to receive a copy of at the end of this call. And then we're going to open up a Q&A session where you can ask your questions, okay? I want to go over some terminology first, okay? This is kind of important because we're going to be mentioning different departments and stuff like that. Corporation. Sometimes if you want to run a business, you're going to need a corporation. If you're going to be an employee, you're going to have certain tax things, and the names are just different. So corporations in Panama aren't that expensive, $1,200 to $1,500. Mm-hmm. They require 3 directors, and with one of them living in Panama. And you don't need to be a resident of Panama to open a corporation or be a director. So that is one thing important. You can be in the process of residency. You can be a tourist. You can be whatever. So, okay. And then there are different things, different words, terminology. Tasa Unica. Every U.S. and Canadian people know that it's your corporate tax filing once a year. And you're going to have that. You're going to have a resident agency. This is what you don't have in North America, is a lawyer must be a resident agency of the company, meaning they keep all the paperwork and they keep all the books, and they get to charge this ridiculous $250 to $300 fee every year for doing that. And it's the law, and they're very strict on it now. And we got different tax departments that have different names. You guys, everyone on this call has heard the name IRS or CRA. Well, here's DGI. I forgot to look at what that means in Spanish. Director General.
DG. What?
DGI.
Dirección General Ingresos.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That is our income tax department. And then we have ITBMS for you guys in the States. That would be state tax. For you guys in Canada, that's GST. Or HST, and that's collected on sales. Here, it's everything but food and restaurant meals under $5, basically. Mm-hmm. And certain other services, like it's transport, I believe, is free of. Yeah, he knows that. Okay, and then we have CSS, which is Caja de Seguro Social,
which is Social Security.
Do good there. Yeah, Social Security. Don't get confused with U.S. Social Security. It's not quite the same thing.
It's not quite the same.
Here, it is every employee pays into it, and every employer matches that contribution. And that money goes towards health care for the employees and a retirement fund when they turn 57 and for a woman, 62 for a man. Okay? So I'm bringing those up right now because they come up throughout this other documents, so we just want some terminology. Just if you do have a corporation, pay things on time. The late fees here are ridiculous.
Yeah,
they can get into the thousands of dollars if you don't pay. Okay. Now, next we have Panama. Really is I would like to call a protected, the government protects its citizens and for jobs, and like most companies are only allowed to have 10% foreigners. In some areas, it's 20%. And if you want to come into Panama and work or have a business in any of these areas, you basically can't. You cannot be an accountant in Panama. You cannot be agriculture, botany. I was looking to this, Oscar. There's many words I don't even know.
Yeah, botany is botanicals.
Yes.
Chemistry.
You can't practice architecture. A surprising one, you can't be a barber or cosmetology. Chemical engineering. What is it? Is that like Breaking Bad? No.
Something like that.
Okay. You can't be a chemical engineer.
If you're a chemical engineer, you can do Breaking Bad stuff.
These are all protected professions. So I'm not going to read them all to you, but they're on this list on this document that you're going to receive at the end of the call. Okay. So you can't practice these things. The only time you can is in special situations that the Minister of Labor approves help. when we had COVID, we had nurses and doctors from other countries helping out and stuff like that. But it's, and there are special circumstances that where they'll extend you. You can hire more foreign employees because there's not enough Panamanian employees to do your job. So the Ministry of Labor is flexible here on some of its rules, but they do have rules there. Okay. Now, we want to talk about work you could potentially do here in Panama without a work visa. If you're a tourist or pensionado or any visa holder. Now, Panama has what they call a territorial tax system, one of 12 countries in the world that have this type of system, and only charges its residents, that's citizens and permanent residents, taxes on Panama-sourced income. And Panama's immigration laws are designed to protect Panama workers, so they don't want you moving here and taking their jobs. So, but let's say, like, pretty well everyone on this call is a foreigner. And if you are thinking of moving here and you are an online marketer like I was back in 2011, it was really easy for me to work here. We had a really simple visa to do it. And I could work from in my home on my computer, and no one needs to know anything. It's perfectly legal. And I could run my online business because I had no Panama accounts. I sold nothing to Panamanians. My money didn't come in, was deposited into my Canadian U.S. accounts, and that's it. So I ran drop shipping websites, affiliate marketing. I did content writing. I did just business stuff for North American businesses. You could have a consulting business and basically run that from Panama. But then again, if you don't have a visa, you can only stay here 120 days. You can continue trading your stocks like you did back at home. That's not an issue. But foreign earned income from these types of practices are not going to affect your Panamanian tax obligations because you're not taking any Panama jobs away and you're earning foreign income, which isn't taxed in Panama. Now, there's some things you have to worry about. If, for example, let's say you have an online business that sells physical stuff, if you start having Panama customers, then you can't do that. And without some type of a work permit or corporation where you claim that as income. If you're stock trading, and if you were the brilliant one that in March 20th of 2020 knew the president was going to shut down the entire country and Copa of stock would drop 70% in a day, and you shorted Copa is a Panamanian company. Mm-hmm. So that's where my disclaimer comes. If you do stuff like that, you need to speak to a reputable international tax investment company. We can connect you to one. Yeah. But if you are a big stock trader, if you have a big portfolio, high net worth individual, multi-country business activities and want to move to Panama, we're not going to give you all the answers on that because we're not tax strategists. So, but basic stuff like we're talking about here, yes, you can do definitely without having a work visa. Mm-hmm. Can't tell which one I'm on. Okay. There we go. Now, the visas you can get if you want to work in Panama, if you want to stay in Panama more than 180 days, basically you're looking at two of them. You're looking at the Friendly Nations visa. And the Friendly Nations visa is about a 2.5 to 3 year process for permanent residency, but you will get your temporary residency within a few weeks. So you'll be able to stay here right through the whole process. There are only 3 ways you can currently get a Friendly Nations visa. Oh, we should talk about your requirements. Clean criminal background report, a marriage license if you're applying with a couple, some proof of income. There's no required amount. They just want to see that you're legal wherever you are and you have some type of income. Now, there's 3 ways to apply. One is to receive a job offer from an existing Panamanian company with a current Panamanian government profile and receive a work permit to work at that company. So that's one way to apply. The other way is with money. You can invest in real estate. It can be a primary residence. It can be some land. It doesn't really matter.
Hey, Rod, can you apply Friendly Nation visa by creating your own company, be a self-employed?
No.
It's illegal, right?
Yes. Well, it is totally, because immigration is now requiring the company to already be in existence with what my terminology there was, current government profile, meaning they have a history with Social Security, DGI, all those names that we are, that company. And if you happen to find, and there's always people out there trying to skirt above the law and the intention of the law. And I've seen some companies online offering packages. They're still about 20 grand that they are selling old companies that have an old history. But the whole thing is you have to have a job. In the second application, you have to prove to immigration that you have a job in Panama. Not that you created a company to pay yourself some money that you deposited in so you could get a cheap visa. So that just doesn't happen. So immigration is getting really tight. The new Friendly Nations visa isn't quite 2 years old. So coming in August, or there's a bunch of people coming up for the second renewal, and none of our guests did it because we told them don't. And our lawyers and several other lawyers that we consulted on this also said don't. It's not the spirit of the law to create a company and hire yourself as an employee and you're not actually doing anything, just paying yourself to be retired. And the people that would do that is the people that aren't receiving a pension yet. So it's just not a thing that we would endorse, because it's shady. It's not within the spirit of the law. So, but that doesn't mean you can't get, like, people. Most people in their 30s and 40s don't, 20s, 30s, 40s wanting to move here don't have the income to support themselves here. So that's not an option for them. There are ways, and we're going to get into it on this call, to find a job in Panama. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to give you links to all the websites that you can go, and these companies will, like, they might not pay for your visa, but they'll certainly, it doesn't take long. You can have, within 6 weeks, you can have your work permit and get going from the time you apply. So those are the options for the Friendly Nations visa. The total cost over 2.5 years for both the initial application and final application will be somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000, depending on your situation, whether you're married, and several other obstacles that you might have to incur. If any lawyer offers you a Friendly Nations deal package only covering the initial application, walk away.
Walk away.
Because if they're doing that, they know you don't have 100% chance of getting the permanent.
You're gonna lose that money.
And yeah,
it's 80%.
And within 2 years, you'll be kicked out of the country.
Yep.
So be very careful there. Anyway, so the Friendly Nations visa isn't that cheap. This is not lawyer fees, people. Honestly, the government for Friendly Nations requires a bunch of fees twice.
So tell me about it.
Yeah, no, Oscar's been going through it. So on his newest visa, yes.
I'm planning to get into my full permanent. I've been on residency these whole years, but just I apply different than no North American will apply. But it has been a process, and I had to pay more fees than actually the old Friendly Nations.
Yeah, because Colombia wasn't on the Friendly Nations list, so Oscar, it's cost them a lot.
I don't know why we should be claiming
They
this.
should be.
Hey, we used to be the same country. People,
That's right. Let's be friendly. Let's talk about that list. Here is the list. Now, most of the people on this call, you're probably on it with Canada and the US, but there's probably people on this call that are from other countries. So this is the current list. It's changed slightly from 2 years ago. A couple guys got knocked off, a couple more get on. It's still 50. So that's the Friendly Nations list. So, Oscar, we've talked about a lot. After this, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about what's the next topic. Ooh. See, I got to bring it up. I wrote the thing I should know. Oh, yeah. Digital nomad visa and getting a job in Panama. But let's break for questions. Now, there's two ways you can ask questions here, guys. Oh, we don't see Megan. Megan should be joining us. Megan, where are you? Turn your camera on so we can see you too, Megan. Megan is the other third of our company, guys. Okay. So, yeah, questions are coming in. So Q&A mode, type your questions. If anyone actually wants to ask your question, voice video, we'd love to have you on board. If you look down by the chat where it says type your message, click on, hey, they updated it. Click on ask a question. And it will pop up on the list that we can bring you on with your microphone and chat. So let's start answering questions. Type your questions, folks. There we go. Can minor expats work in Panama? Actually, the age, like it works the same as Panamanians.
Yeah.
If they're under 18, they have to have a parent's permission.
Well, it cannot be under 14 or 16.
Yeah, under 14. The 14 to 60 usually aren't even paid. They're the grocery vendors and stuff.
Well, 16, I think, is the 16 to 18, you have a permit.
The one thing to remember, Fritz, for any type of job that somebody in that 16 to 18, they're going to have to know Spanish fluently because they're working in restaurants, gas stations, stuff like that. So there is no, like, we'll talk about that as we get into the job section in a few minutes on here, about, if you don't speak Spanish, you need to be looking for an English only job, and there's not a lot of English only jobs in Panama. But look, there's Megan.
Hey, there's Megan. Yay.
Megan,
hi, everyone.
who don't know, is our director of operations. She is Oscar's wife. I'm not. Some people thought that, but
no, most people assume that you're her father or uncle.
Do not say that. Megan is currently in Pennsylvania. Woo!
Woo! Yep.
She's visiting her mother.
Family.
Yes, she took the baby to visit the parents, and Oscar's all alone, and that's why he's hanging out here all the time.
I'll be back in Panama on Friday.
Yes. We're looking forward to you. So the minor expats, that's the thing. You'd have to go through the same procedures that a Panamanian would. I would be some concern because depending on what visa you're on, whether you as parents have work visas, that if the minor could actually work, but once they're 18, they would have to have a work visa. If you're not a Panamanian citizen, you have to have a work visa to work here.
Yep.
Basically. Yeah. So thank you for that question. Oh, I think I deleted a question. Oh my God. It happens. Once you have permanent visa, is there any more fees? Yes, a big one. Once every 5 to 10 years, you got to replace your card, and it costs $40.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But the only extra fee, once you're permanent visa, is that if you want to apply for your e-cedula.
Yes.
That it will be an extra, if I'm not wrong, $500.
Yeah, it's about $400 to $500 if you do it with a lawyer.
But let me tell you about the benefits. When you have an e-cedula, you have almost same privileges of any single Panamanian citizen. The only thing you cannot do is vote, or still cannot protest.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have a unique ID number. Then every single document in Panama, that will be your number. This is your your ID in Panama. You can take that ID, and that's as valid like your
Just had-
passport or
We just had an earthquake.
what?
Sorry. I thought we just had an earthquake. I just felt the earth moving.
That's Kira.
Okay, that's the dogs.
So that's the privilege of having the e-citizen. What it means is basically, when you move to Panama, you have permanent resident. You might have the documentation of your house, your car, business, whatever it is, and you want to have under that number, so you don't have to never replace. Because if you have a permanent residency, everything is attached to your passport number.
Yeah, passport or e-cedula, and your passport number changes every 5 to 10 years.
E-cedula never change.
So get a cedula. Okay. Good question. Okay, this is a really good question that we have to address here. It's a very gray area. And so if you get a pensionado visa, and if you want to have a multiple room Airbnb, anyone can open a business in Panama.
Well, that's not Airbnb, it's B&B, meaning bed and breakfast.
Okay, and yeah, sorry.
Yes, you can.
Airbnb, B&B, yeah. Sorry, thank you. Bed and breakfast. Anyone can own a business in Panama. The difference is, without a work visa, you're not allowed to work in that business. What that means,
you can manage it. You can manage it.
Yeah.
But you cannot be doing like the front desk person,
Yeah, the
or
Panamanian jobs.
the restaurant. You can be the back one, manage it, only manage it. That's it.
So if you wanted to come on a, so if you wanted to solo run this place yourself, then you might look at, if you're purchasing a property to do this, to come on a Friendly Nations visa and get a work visa. So you can legally work, so you can clean the rooms, cook the food, check the people
Everything,
in. Yeah, so you can do it all. And Panama is fairly friendly with the single owner type businesses. They understand if that owner has a work visa, he should be allowed to work in his business.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about, especially if it's like I say, a single employee type business. So you can purchase any property or land with the Friendly Nations visa for $200,000. You would qualify for it and get a visa, and both couples can apply for a work visa. Mm-hmm. And the people who don't, here's the thing I want to warn you guys about, why I said gray. There's a gentleman that I've heard of. Well, okay, I know him. I'm not going to tell where he is in Panama, but he opened a restaurant as a pensionado. A lot of people do, but he was working the cash register, bringing out orders, cooking food, doing everything, and he got in a fight with one of his employees. That employee reported him to Social Security. Social Security did a surprise visit, caught him doing this, and he got fined $10,000 and warned if he do it again, he could lose his visa. They are serious. You can't do that stuff. Now, there is a new, like somebody with a pensionado visa that started the business after, there is a chance of getting a work visa if it's determined by immigration that you are required to work in your company. Mm-hmm. Now, what that means is maybe a single operation type person. So, but the strategy is, if you own a business, you can do the books, you can hire and fire employees and set the schedules. That's fine, because you're the owner. A Panamanian can't do that. You can't wait on the tables. You can't make the beds. You can't do all the labor work. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we beat that to death. Okay, we keep seeing minors. It's the same thing. It's hard for a minor Panamanian to work. They have to have parents' publication, parent permission slips. They got to have permits. Now, Alexander, this is a great question for an international tax advisor. Now, if you are going to continue doing your trading, like there's many retired people that trade on the stock market. They have stocks, but they typically, they're with their foreign exchange companies or their foreign interactive brokers, blah, like all that stuff, and they've kept a U.S. address and bank account for purposes like that. And then no, none of that's ever recorded because you're not. But if you're actively bringing large amounts into money into Panama, you need to be concerned about that, and you need to again. On our website, on our contact form, which is in the information you're going to get right after this call, you can contact us, tell us your situation with as much details, and we will connect you to who we would feel like experts that we've used in the past that have helped our clients. Okay, this is a great question, Ellen. Look, Megan, it's Ellen Temple. Woo-hoo.
Hey, Ellen. Yeah, a lot
Megan,
of
why
people
don't you talk
do that.
about this?
Right. So a lot of people do have crafts business and they sell at the Tuesday market and they're not a real established company, and probably a lot of them don't have work permits. I mean, some of them do because they're established companies, but small crafts and arts work that expats are just doing at their home and selling at the Tuesday market. There are people that do that kind of unofficially. It is a gray zone in Panama. Probably you're not going to get in trouble for it. Yeah. What else do you think on that, Rod?
Yeah, it's no different than in the U.S. and Canada at the swap meets, at garage sales. People do it all the time. The Tuesday market in Panama has been going on almost approaching 20 years. And the only government intervention that's ever showed up there is the health department. Anyone touching food, they insist you take a course and get your health certificate. So it's, as long as don't open don't rent a place on Main Street and put a sign up, then for sure you're going to need business license, work permits, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
And manipulation permits.
Yeah. Funny, there we go. If you apply, receive Friendly Nations visa via property permit, and you find a job, would you have to swap the original visa? Oh, a work visa is not a resident visa, Margaret. A Friendly Nations visa, a pensionado visa, those are residency visa. Work visas are additions to them. So you can get a work visa easily with a Friendly Nations visa. So you would still be here in the country as a Friendly Nations visa, just with a work visa. Like
And
Megan and I both have work visas with our Friendly Nations visa.
That is something you need to renew every, is it 5 years?
I think it's 5 years now. Yeah. I came here 11 years ago, and there's a couple of people on the call we're going to talk to after. They had a great program here. I have an indefinite work visa and never have to renew it. But that's, unfortunately, it's not available. No, actually, for a couple, buddy, it's 200 and 2,000. I know it sounds so silly. It's 200,000 for, and a couple must mean a married couple. You cannot be common law; it must be married. So a married couple, it's 200,000 plus 2,000 for the dependent. If it's a family, it's 200,000 and 2,000 for each dependent. That's the spouse and the kids under 18. Okay. Hi, Chris. The new rules in Airbnb are not new. They were introduced in 2019. That document floating around Facebook was actually signed in October 2019, Oscar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And every year, the hotel owners meet with the mayor and they say they're going to do something. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing, and I work in the hotel industry. Airbnb is for a specifically different type of guest than any client we're going to find in a hotel. Period. That some hotels they don't run proper business or hospitality. They just feel threat because they don't have enough business. So that's why they got intimidated by Airbnb. What is one thing is it can be in place, but to be regulated it will be very complicated. They don't have the manpower to go door by door and shut down or anything like that. I highly doubt it.
No, the law is enforced in Panama City, yet there's about 1,000 Airbnbs available every night there. So I'm not. I really think they should be looking at, are these places legal? Are they paying their taxes? Are they clean? Are they up to health standards?
Yeah.
That's because our hotel, needs competition. We don't have enough rooms in high season. We just
No, we don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I can see some hotels business they get a little worry about it when the low season comes.
Mhm.
But again,
Yeah, it happens every time the
every
high
time the
season
low
ends,
season
they meet
hits,
with the mayor. We're going to do it.
you gotta do it, but that doesn't fly.
It's been 4 years.
No.
So that's our opinion, and we're sticking to it.
Yep. And if I'm a hotel business owner, well, get the game up.
Yeah.
Get your hotel. Make sure why people want to stay in your hotel.
Price
Or
it
even
accordingly. Yeah,
Price
exactly.
accordingly, hospitality, good service, amenities.
Okay, we get no less than 5 emails a week of people that wanting to move to Panama because they're already earning an income. They want to live somewhere else in the world. Well, Panama has introduced a short stay visa, and I have my own name for it, the crappy short stay visa. It, it's our version of the digital nomad version visa, and we really hope that some of the lawyers are pressing immigration revise it a little bit because it's not that good. What do you need to get a short stay visa? First of all, the requirements are simple, pretty well like other visa, just a couple extra. You need your background check. You need a health insurance for when you're going to stay here. You got to have private health insurance. You need proof of the foreign company that you work for, their existence. And I know it's pretty general here, but you're going to need proof of their existence. You're going to need an employment letter from your company and proof that the income comes from abroad. And you have to be making $36,000 a year in the last 2 years, and 48 if you're planning on bringing dependents. They have been friendly to self-employed people. See, this is a visa I would have qualified for back in 2011. They didn't have it. Thank goodness I didn't use it, but because it's not a permanent visa. But people who have their own companies, let's say you have your own social media company, or your own content creation company, and you can prove that you've been making more than $36,000 a year for 2 years, and you are paying yourself, you can get this visa. It's a quick visa. You'll have it in 5 to 6 weeks, and it's not that expensive. It's around $1,500, but it's only good for 18 months. At that time, you have to leave for 30 days. There's nothing stopping you from applying again. So this is for the people, the nomad that wants to try Panama out and that doesn't have $200,000 for a friendly nations visa, that's already working at home. There's so many people that work from home, guys. They have, there's many types of businesses, and they're making 36,000, 50,000 or more a year. Yeah, you can stay here. And the good thing to stay here 18 months, you'll have your temporary visa. You can get a driver's license here. You can come and go as you please. So it's really, it has some good points, but there's no way to make it permanent. And that's what we're hoping they change.
Yes.
Is some permanency in this visa.
Well,
if you could prove you're making $36,000 a year, why wouldn't they want you to stay here and spend that money?
Mm-hmm. And the one thing that people don't realize, every single 5 years when we have government, things change slightly.
Yeah.
So in the next government, and I'm hoping there is a different party, it might change a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hoping for better.
Yeah.
To make it more friendly, because I do know the lawyers have a little bit of the gap on that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So there is always that part is gonna play that role, is that it might change for positive changes in the next government, which will be next year.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the change to the Friendly Nations visa was devastating to some.
Yeah.
It was a very simple visa. Myself, Megan, and the two other guests that are coming on at the end of this call very shortly here. I promise to get to you guys any minute. All came in that visa, and we've created hundreds of years of jobs for Panamanians with our companies. So, it was a good visa. But then again, a lot of people came here and didn't have an income coming in, and then they were stranded here. So, that doesn't help. Now, let's quickly do. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, guys, because it's not fair to everyone else. Because if you want a job in Panama, yes, it's possible. Don't let people online tell you it's not possible. I've personally, and at some other ventures, hired programmers from around the world to come to Panama and work. So yes, it can. And these are the best places I have found to find English jobs in Panama. Like the big ones, Glassdoor and Indeed have actual sections for this. So these links I'm sharing with you, job seekers. Now, the one thing to remember, if you have a job, what? Okay, let me actually get away from this and go to a screen share instead. Whoops. Back up. I hit the wrong button. What am I, new? Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay. Let's just go back there. Oscar.
Right.
Somebody who wants a company, let's say with our own company, tours, we wanted to hire a English-speaking tour guide. Full-time. What would the salary be?
Well,
today.
Today.
Yeah, today.
In Boquete, minimum $800.
Okay. Maximum
$1,200, but that's also it's referring because it can be like depending of the skills but usually about 800 because our guys usually they have it's like a waitress or waiters the tips and they have all the benefits.
I unfortunately can't share my screen. We don't really have time for it tonight, but if anyone is on this call that is of German, Dutch, or North American ancestry living in Panama City on Glassdoor, there's a job available with a tour company that's looking for, you don't need to speak English. You need to speak German, Dutch, or
probably will make more money actually. And in Panama City will make more money.
Yeah, they're offering, it's about $1,200.
Yeah, about $1,200.
Yeah, $1,200 a month, but that's what it will pay. But there are all types of jobs. I have a friend who works at Dell. Now he is in upper human resources, but that job would pay 70, 80,000 in the US. It's going to pay about 20, 30 here. So but these are all great places that you can look for jobs in Panama. And then when you're looking for a job like this, you can't look for an immediate position. We want you to start tomorrow. You got to tell them, okay, I'm going to be applying with the Friendly Nations visa. Now, if you have a university degrees and it's a high-end job, they might actually pay for that visa. They might actually be willing to help you move here. But most jobs probably won't. So you've got to consider you're going to be paying over 2.5 years, $8,000 to $12,000 to get your visa. But it is permanent. You can live in Panama forever. As long as you can keep the job for 2 years, you'll be fine. And there are, no word of a lie, I looked today, I spent an hour and a half, hundreds of jobs available for English-speaking people in throughout Panama. So that we have for you. So enjoy that. You're going to be receiving this again right when the call ends. Okay. Pensionado visa. We're going to get through this, and then we're going to bring on some people who have actually done this. Okay. Working with a pensionado visa. Currently, there's 2 options for a work permit with a pensionado visa. If you own a business in Panama and it's required that you work in it. This is the lawyer tells me this is very subjective and left up to immigration and the work permit people. But if let's say you opened a flower shop and only had room for one employee and blah blah blah, they might grant you a work permit. Like they might. That's it's totally up to immigration because if you were trying to earn income. The second's really easy. Get married to a Panamanian. If you're already married, that's a problem. But marry a nice Panamanian, and then you can get a work visa to help support your family here in Panama. Now, Megan, I think you brought this to my attention. There was a new decree issued about a month ago in Panama about work visas. And they added a new one, which is very interesting because it hasn't gone into effect yet, as far as we know. If you've been in Panama for more than 10 years on any visa, you now qualify to apply for a work visa. That I don't know how many people on this call that applies to, but maybe there's one or two of you. Okay, so like I said, you guys are going to get this information, and any more specific. We're going to Q&A here in a section, but we're going to meet Barbara and James Bradley from Pan Pacific Interiors. If you guys can turn on your microphone and your camera, guys. There we go. They're coming on. Hey, how are you guys?
Welcome.
Can we hear you?
Excellent. How are you?
Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. How are you? Now, these guys, folks. Now, I have a little bit of history. Barbara and I talk all the time. But anyways, 2014, I believe, is when they came here. But they started a company in Cherokee called Pan Pacific Interiors. And they do kitchens, bathrooms, cabinetry, storage solutions. And they're a pretty big thing in Panama right now. You guys came on the Friendly Nations visa, I take it? Uh-oh.
I think that got frozen.
You guys look like this. Oh, they're going to try that again. Okay, now it's working. Were you able to hear me, Barbara?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So when you guys came here originally, I've already told everyone about your company, what you do. Did you come on the Friendly Nations visa back then?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All right. We came here in 2012 and we started our business in 2014.
Yeah.
Under the Friendly Nations visa. It took us a couple years because he was traveling back and forth. And you have to be very exact on your timing because if one thing expires, you got to start all over again because everything is not going to. So it did us a couple rounds of our
reapplying and back and forth. And
But we came with 2 kids and we started a business and learned a lot.
Yeah.
Where is that business now? Like a good example. How many employees do you have?
16.
16. And those are mostly Panamanian employees?
All but one.
All but one.
All but one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one employee actually we brought over from South Africa because we had put it out there. We needed somebody that actually knew the trade because there's no trade training here in Panama. So we put it out there. We found someone that had extensive trade experience, and we did help them come with get their residency. Sorry, and I've got him a work permit and everything, and he's been with us since.
That's awesome.
This is the type of stuff these guys build, guys. And now they're building. They are favorite of both expats and Panamanians throughout the country. They built a monster company. It's just incredible work. But what would you say were the biggest challenges and hurdles? Because you operated the business in Canada similar, like building stuff. What are the biggest obstacles and hurdles that you've had in Panama to grow your business to the level that you are right now?
We did have a big millwork company in Canada at one time, and within a couple years, we had over $100,000 line of credit. We could lease equipment. We could do all these things. There's none of that down here.
Not here. Yeah.
No,
Nope.
you're not getting, for a long time, you're not getting any bank support. There's no leasing of even vehicles. So that was really probably the financial end of, we basically had to cash flow the whole thing. Even on your materials, no 30-day terms, you pay up front for everything.
Yeah.
So that was probably the toughest thing, I think.
Because we didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, for sure.
The other thing that we really didn't know was that we should have been advertising the opening of that business for probably a year as we were going through the process of getting our residency and thinking about starting the business. We should have advertised right from the beginning. We were doing something that nobody else really had been doing. Wood kitchens are a big deal here. I mean, you see the wood in the background. It's like wood everything. Well, wood is just not the best product in Panama because of the high humidity. So we were bringing in a new product, a melamine product that was water and moisture and insect resistant, which is perfect for Panama. But it's different. It's new. It's not something that catches on. They're very traditional here, is what I found.
Mm-hmm.
So getting it out there ahead of time is a huge thing that you need to do if you're going to start a business.
Yeah, I think the thing is you're coming to a new country and nobody knows you. And as we always own companies in Canada, we were involved in the industry, so you've got a clientele almost right out of the gate. Here, we didn't have to market in Canada. You had to have a reputation, people. Here, marketing has become a big part of our company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you haven't built that reputation, because when you're new in the business, you need that reputation. That's why you need marketing first. And we know this because reputation is key, especially in such countries like Panama, but anywhere. And that's why your number precedes you in the quality and the fine jobs you guys have done so far. It is your best resume. Like now today, people say Pan Pacific Interiors. Like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Like, boom.
It's funny. I walked into a house
Easy
on
sale.
Saturday, and I walked in. I go, "Oh, Barbara and James' kitchen." I saw David Bridget, one of your clients' house yesterday.
There you go. It's a beautiful house.
So tell me about employees, because you have a lot. For you guys that don't know a lot about this company, by the end of the week, you're going to get an email. It's a 15-minute long email about their entire manufacturing program process, their showrooms, their testimonial stuff like that Oscar and I did with them a few weeks ago. But can you find, like, it's very like high end, like I don't know what to say, skilled employees? Like does Panama have that skill set?
They don't.
For finding your employees.
They don't have the skill set. We've had to do all training. Yeah. We hire for attitude. And that is our main point of hiring. We've been through quite a number.
But you were able to train them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have an amazing crew now. Absolutely amazing crew.
And the skills you've given them are going to be with them for a lifetime too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my experience most of our crew's younger. They really, if you give them an opportunity, they'll run with it. Our production manager is he's brilliant. He really runs the show as far as the shop goes, and he's created an amazing culture throughout the company, along with our office manager. They've just done an amazing job, and they're, again, Barb and I have always been in business. They're among the best employees we've had, here or Canada. Very, very loyal,
very committed.
Treat the people here well, and they'll treat you well.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. You guys are, I really am grateful for what you have done for the economy, and also for giving the opportunity for this young generation to learn such a unique skills, because it's very well it's gonna be well so used, and I know they're gonna be very committed to you guys.
No, I have a
I'm
question
really
for.
excited that we get to
Yeah.
retire in a few years, and they're just going to be able to.
Now, I got a question for you guys on
Mhm.
the finance side. Are taxes in Panama, personally and corporately, more or less than what you were paying in your Canadian business?
They're 25% here.
Yeah. So less.
So they're this is when we left. Okay, so we're talking now 11,
2012.
yeah. So
Yeah, 11 years. Yeah.
now. Relatively speaking, they were about the same as they are now, but they are significantly higher, at least in Canada now, than when we left.
Mhm.
How about bureaucracy between the two countries? I know in every country in the world, there's bureaucracy in government. How do you find it here compared to, or do you just, like me, I just leave it to my accountant, Gilbert will handle that. Like,
It's nice not having to deal with the politics here. I like, this is what I like about Panama. Panamanians have had to battle for everything they have, their freedom over and over and over again, their independence, and they let the government do what the government does until it pisses them off, and they say, no, you're not doing that. And they do their protests, and the government needs to listen, and it's great. I don't see that back home anymore. So here, I can't get involved, but I think that they stand up for themselves, and I think that's great about this country and the people here. They're passionate about their rights and their freedoms, and it's. I love living here. I love the culture and the people.
It takes patience, though. You have to know it's going to be different. It takes longer. Those things are just those things. You know, it's like you go to any kind of bureaucratic, a bank, a government office, a school board office. It doesn't matter. You'll go in. You'll say, "Here's what you said I needed," and they'll say, "Oh, great! And now you need." And they'll give you another couple things that you have to get, and then you go get those, and you come back. And there's probably going to be another list of things that you need. It's a process, and you have to have patience, and you have to be willing to smile and not get mad. That's the biggest thing, because if you start yelling at people and start being rude, you're not going to get anywhere, and you are not going to like Panama. You really
you have it so right there.
Yeah, great advice.
Great advice, because that's very one of the main things I always when I do on my relocation tours is about the relationships, about how you approach, how you face the situation, and how it's about the relationship.
Yeah,
perfect. All right. Well, we want to really thank you guys for joining us on this call in this quick few minutes. For those of you guys interested in more in their company, there's links on the last page of the PDF that you're getting as soon as we end this call. So any information, or for some of you on this call, I know there's a lot of less retirees, more business people that are considering opening up a manufacturing company. I'm sure they wouldn't mind an email from you and something like that. These guys have imported the equipment. We saw the equipment from all over Europe. They know their stuff. So for sure, and doing business in Panama is possible, and creating a great company in Panama is very possible.
Most important, if you need a perfect kitchen, a perfect situated renovation in your house for the spaces, approaching the spaces, they are the people.
And what can you do with my cabinets?
I'll give you a lot of that space.
He's already designing for me.
Well, seriously, not because they're our guests tonight. The reputation precedes them, and they're just amazing people. They're an amazing company. They have done nothing but a very beautiful positive influence in the economy, and also to create new jobs, and the quality. It's high end.
Okay, folks, thank you guys. We're going way over time, but hey, what the heck? That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
We are now going to invite on Nina and Barish from Chalk's Artesian Chocolates. Can you guys turn on your camera? And
hi, Nina.
Hey, Nina, how are you? Hola.
You're
muted. You got to unmute you. There's two buttons you got to click: camera and microphone.
Oops.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
How are you?
It's just me, but it's just on baby duty. So here we
Oh, that's
are.
fine.
That's
He's
right.
probably making chocolate right now.
Maybe making the baby eat some chocolate, possibly.
Okay.
So
So-
I wanted, did something happen? I think I joined with the wrong link earlier, but I wanted to comment on the minors working in
Uh-huh.
Panama thing.
Yeah.
One thing to remember is that if you come on a friendly nations visa and your family are dependents, dependents don't have entitlement to work.
No, they don't.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
they don't until they get their
minor
own
is
work.
dependent on your visa, then that's not going to
Yeah.
work out the working thing.
Yeah.
There's under
And
the table
Nina
jobs,
and okay,
like,
that's the wrong picture.
babysitting and all kinds of things that kids can do, that teenagers normally do that I believe would be fine. Babysitting, pet sitting.
Oh yeah,
this
for
kind of
sure.
stuff. Yeah. But an official job is probably not going to happen until they have their own visa.
Yeah. So when did you guys arrive?
Oh my goodness. I was so excited to hear about being here for 10 years means that you're qualified for a work visa.
Yeah, I know that's it. Eh? Yeah.
Because I missed this you can work forever opportunity. They had already changed it. And so my visa is about to expire. But
So
my
you don't have to
10
renew again. I don't
going
renew
to happen
years.
in October.
Yeah.
So we moved here 10 years ago, October.
Yeah. So talk with your lawyer. I like Megan and I have the decree, so we'll have to send it to you after the call here. So
Okay.
that really relates to you. Yeah.
All right, it does. I love that.
Perfect.
So yeah, we've been here for 10 years and we've done a couple of different businesses, two that I can call businesses and one in the interim that was just like sort of in the planning stages for forever.
Yeah, you guys moved
Mostly
from
due
Europe,
to
right?
what Barbara and her husband mentioned about needing to financially roll all of your ideas. It's easy to come up with really fantastic ideas, but if you don't have the capital to make that happen, it can be very hard to raise that capital here in Panama. You've got to have like outside investors and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you guys moved there originally from Europe, but not looking to work. You didn't move here to find a job or
No, I'm American. I'm from Washington, D.C.,
Uh-huh.
and my husband is Turkish.
Yeah.
And we have been living in Turkey for about 10 years, and we had acquired some property and some other stuff. And so when we moved here, we had planned to live on our passive income. But, and that's a great way to move to Panama if you have passive income. But some things to think about that we didn't think about is that exchange rates can fluctuate. Political situations can very extremely and adversely affect your exchange rates. And then other craziness can happen. So we had our property, we were renting it, and someone in the building next to our property like blew up the whole building. And so it floated all of the walls out of our apartment, and our tenants were like, this is crazy, we're traumatized, we're out of here. And suddenly our like passive income just disappeared because it was our savings and this rental income that we were getting monthly. And we really had to scramble and sort of figure out what we were going to do from one day to the next.
That was in Turkey?
That was in Turkey that the explosion happened, but we were here at the time, depending on that income.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Exciting.
So
Kids
you
are
went ahead and bought a business.
I'm sorry?
I said, so you went ahead and bought a business and started being your business entrepreneurs.
We did. When we were coming to Panama, I fell in love with the idea. My husband has always loved chocolate, and I knew that this was some of the best cacao in the whole world. So I was excited to get in there and start messing around with chocolate for my husband. And the woman who owned this bean to bar company, I harassed her years ago to show me how to make chocolate. And I was her first student. And then the opportunity presented itself years and years later. She wanted to retire. And I went to her and I was like, listen, it's got to be me. And we didn't have enough money. Again, finances came into it. And I was like, where we lack in finances, we've got heart, and we're really gonna, work hard to build your brand and make it, known with the entire tourist community that passes through Boquete. Everybody's gonna know about Chalks. And I think that finally sold her. I went in and I was going in to talk to her about this offer that we were going to make. And my husband was like, we've already told her, don't harass the lady, just leave it alone. And I was like, no. I've got to really, really tell her like how I feel about this. And I walked in and I was like, yeah, we don't have enough money, but we've got all of this. And she said, well, I've still got some offers on the table and I'll get back to you. And within 24 hours, she was like, okay, I decided to give it to you guys. Go ahead and take it. And I knew the people that had bid on it, and they had bid per asking price, but they wanted to run the business ex parte from the United States for a while until they retired. And Deborah didn't feel confident that there were enough skilled workers here to take care of her chocolate business, to make the chocolate and prepare it well and keep up her reputation during the interim before these people were able to actually leave the United States and move here. So that's how we got the business. And it's been quite a wonderful ride, a great opportunity, but not without its hangups.
So what kind of challenges do you have? I know you have, like, I've seen your people working, making the chocolate, so you have employees?
We focus on hiring local women who are often overlooked in the economic system here locally. We've got right now, we have a single mother who works with us. And during the summer months, we offer high school students internships. They can come and they can work and earn money during the summer. There's not a lot of summer job opportunities for high school students. And we have a couple girls that have come in and got their first work experiences working with us. And right now we're training a chocolatier who is an expat youth. He's just about to graduate from high school, and he's learning how to make the chocolate, and he's going to be, working full time directly with the chocolate.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we try to focus on people who have a hard time finding and maintaining work in the community.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
I know Barish
That's
is
awesome.
always coming up with new recipes for me for sugar-free chocolate. So it's always, I miss that.
He's really, excited. He's an artist by trade. He's got a master in fine arts. So, the alchemy of chocolate is really exciting for him. He certainly loves to sculpt and design, but making new products is something that really gets his goat as well. He's always excited.
But as far as operating a bit, do either, if you don't mind me asking, do either of you guys speak Spanish?
We both do poorly.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. So there's three of us.
Actually, Nina does pretty good.
Way better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Subway, they do pretty good.
How do you navigate all the government systems? Do you find it okay? As far as your everything to do with business and government wise.
Well, I don't know. For me, I spent 10 years in Turkey before I came here. Mm-hmm. So I learned different I learned different ways to deal with people in a bureaucratic setting. Yeah. In Turkey, you go in, you want to get business done. People will pour themselves a cup of tea in front of you and sit there and drink it while you're trying to get your business done, and just, obviously waste your time, not even pretend to be working, and it's often a test to see where your buttons are and how long you can take it. Mm-hmm. And so I just brought all of my Turkish skills here as far as dealing with bureaucracy. So number one,
but you obviously have means of visiting your place where you're making your factory to make sure you're in compliance and stuff like that.
Yes, they come and they visit, and I make sure they visit. But I gift when I go to make my appointment for them to come and visit my business. I take them chocolate. And it's not a bribe, it's just a gift. Here's your
Chocolate makes everybody happy.
Everybody happy.
The
And
Perfect.
chocolate lady. When I go to the bank to open up the account, when I go to the bank to talk to the banker, I've always got some coffee bites or a cocoa bar. Or, you know
Okay,
what I
I'm
mean?
gonna buy some chocolate tomorrow from you. I gotta bake.
I'm
it.
going to
Again,
buy
we're
some.
talking about relationships.
Democracy, and it seems to work, even for people
Yeah.
who don't like chocolate. Just
It
any
does.
human being, the fact that you thought about them on this random day, you know, just sort of changes the way they receive you and work with you.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend gifting and patience.
Yeah, it's all about relationship, folks. It's all about relationships. It's all about your attitude towards, and then that's how it gets you further.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And then, I know.
Where I
know,
grew up, it was
I
always
know
about
because-
getting the job done,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And now when I'm going, it's about making somebody's day. Hopefully
Yes.
they'll do something for me if I can make them happy enough today. And that's my agenda when I'm going out to get things accomplished in Panama with bureaucracy, not with my employees. That doesn't work.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, guys, we just wanted to show you these examples of you can take a business across the country. You can have a small business in town. If you move here, it's all possible. It's not that complicated. Yes, it's in another language. You find yourself a good CPA that speaks English, and you'll be good.
Everybody
Starting
needs a lawyer. And unfortunately, we've been through 3, so I'm not the one to make recommendations, but everybody needs a lawyer. And if you can find the right one in Panama, it's golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely help you guys out with that. If you're looking for a good CPA that understands U.S. accounting methods, things like QuickBooks, stuff like that, we can help you out. But for sure, well, thank you very much, Nina.
Thank you, Nina, so
we
much.
love Chalks. If you guys are ever in Boquete, you will see their chocolate, and yes, they sell at the Tuesday market.
Oh, by the way, they have this amazing chocolate coconut.
Oh, the coconut one.
The coconut one. It's my
All
favorite.
good.
If you go to the Tuesday market, please get that one. You will not regret it. It's like
You must get a cocoa bar. We have them
Amazing.
in regular and vegan, so there's some type of
Yeah.
cocoa bar for everyone.
yes.
Well,
Excellent.
it's great to
product.
see you guys too. Hi, Megan.
Alrighty, thank you
Hi,
for joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you so much, honey.
Alrighty.
Thanks
See
for
you
having me,
tomorrow.
guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. We are over time. But again, you're going to get a copy of this slideshow. You're going to get a copy of this recording tomorrow. I'm just going to see if there's any critical questions that we haven't answered. There we go. There's a couple. 400. Can you explain the new rules? Airbnbs, Pensionado Visa, do online. Okay. No, that's not in terms of residency. So, okay. So, anyways, folks, we want to thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yes, there are some possibilities to get a job here. No, the Friendly Nations visa is not that friendly anymore, but it's still
It might
feasible to get a job.
And it might change.
Short stay is a possibility.
Yeah.
Check out Panama for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Go home, come back for another year and a half.
Yeah.
And you're going to operate businesses here. It's not that complicated, folks.
I will say this. I came here and I started a business out of nothing. I came here with nothing and I create a business. If I can make it happen, anybody can happen.
We have 3 different worlds here, folks. We got from Canada, from Colombia, and from Philadelphia. That we all ended up in Panama.
Yeah.
And we've all created great lives for ourselves with jobs and businesses and stuff like that. And you can do it too if you want to.
Hey, again, I made it happen. I am not part of the Friendly Nations.
Yeah. And our tours are not just for retirees. We have many friends already in Panama now that are in their 40s. They're working. They have jobs, stuff like that. So come join us. We will show you everything, and we will make sure you don't meet the wrong people.
You don't meet the wrong people, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So important. Well, thank you guys for joining us again, and we're going to say good night.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night,
everybody.
Great
I
call.
will
Thanks
go-
to our guests.
yeah.
They were wonderful.
Thank you so much, Pan Pacific Choice. If you're on the Tuesday market, you got to meet Nina or her husband right there selling this amazing delicious, and also you get to meet Pan Pacific at the Tuesday market as well.
And all their contact information is in the email that you're going to get as soon as I hit end event.
Yes.
All right, folks. Good night.
Have a good
We'll
night,
talk to
everybody.
you soon. 3 weeks from tonight, how to bring your pets to Panama.
How do you
Get
bring the pets to
registered for
Panama?
that one. There'll be a link in the email that you get tonight.
On that one, if your rod says jump, you just answer how high.
How high?
He knows exactly.
Bring your pets.
Exactly.
All righty. See you, folks.
Good night.
Bye, Megan.
Good night, everybody.